So I've been thinking about a few things recently, and the first is being delusional. Should we be delusional in terms of our dreams, goals, aspirations? I watched a video on this, and the identity of it is interesting because a lot of people are, and a lot of people start out being delusional with things, and like obviously like big entrepreneurs and I don't know, people like in content creation, whatever, like you start out being a bit delusional in the sense of you're either just creating something to just put it into the ether, or you're doing it for a reason of you purely love this thing. And you talk to people, and I feel, especially like more so when you're younger, but like people tend to lose this thing, like this delusion of something they want to do or things they find interesting, I suppose. But in conjunction with this, I was also thinking, or I've noticed, especially in myself recently, especially this year, is I think one of the biggest reasons for this is how motivation swings so rapidly amongst people. How you get a burst of motivation to do something at 3 a.m., like clean your room, clean your house, go to the gym, and then it's like the next day you're like, oh yeah, I can't be asked for that anymore. But the ebb and flow of motivation is like massively key in terms of how you'll feel towards things, obviously. And this is where like recently I've come to the conclusion, which obviously you will hear and a lot of people will say, but sometimes you can hear things and understand them, but you need an action or a real life scenario for yourself to be able to truly grasp it. You can understand something but not put it into works, I suppose, for lack of a better word. So it is that creating a habit will do more for you than motivation ever could, because when motivation goes, habits stay. And a big example for me is going to the gym. I started this year, started out a few days a week, then like 4 days a week. And there was like several times during like the first couple months where it's like, oh, I just can't be asked. Some days I would allow myself not to go as long as I went like at least 3 times a week. But then once you create that habit, it's no longer like, even if you're like, oh, I can't really be asked to do this, it's suddenly, oh, well, I just do this now. Like I do this because I know I will feel good afterwards, and I'm doing this for a purpose of like for myself because I want to get bigger, I want to get stronger. And then the third thing, again, in relation to this, is how does like the pain of regret feel, or how will it feel if we don't do the things we want to do? Now, I've regretted things in my life, but nothing that like I've got to a point where I'm like, oh, I've missed this opportunity. I do get the pain of regret with not doing more things like this, like content creation, and sort of like expanding my repertoire of skills, I suppose. But I do like to try and put like some perspective on, imagine if I'm 55 instead of 24 or 85, and I have this mass pain of regret, and that tries to spur me on to do the things I want to do now, because I've wanted to do something like this for years, but I've always thought, like, oh, what will other people think? Like, what if I start and then just like immediately give up? Which, considering when I started posting sort of videos, like I haven't done enough for what I want to do, haven't learned enough for what I want to do. But at least I'm still here trying. Is the main thing for me, at least. And at least even if I do give up in a year, or like it doesn't work out like to where I want it to be, or the skills I want to acquire, at least I will have a catalogue of evidence to show that I gave it a go. And that for me would eradicate the pain of regret, I suppose. You stop saying I suppose. But it will at least give me the evidence to show that I tried. Like, obviously I will know, but I will also have, for my example, this photographic, videographic evidence that I gave it a go. And if anything, the crux of this video is just that, do you want the pain of regret at the end of the day, or at the end of your life, at the end of whatever, when you could have been delusional and at least given it a go? But anyway, I'll leave those things with you. Have a think about it.